What is up, guys? The LA Gamer here, and welcome to episode 6 of my MLB 17 The Show Fantasy Draft franchise. Now, in today's episode, we will be on the mound with Julio Urias. We will be going up against Luis Saucedo. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He is a rookie on the Cleveland Indians here. And here's a quick little look at our lineup. Nothing really big has changed, as you guys can tell. The only real big change that's happened this season is Chris Bryant. Obviously, we traded for him a couple of episodes ago. And then in the Cleveland Indians lineup, the only real threats in this lineup, maybe Justin Bauer or Bower, I don't know how you would say his name, but he's having a great year. And then they have Yoenis Cespedes, so they have a few big bats in there. But for the most part, not a super extra talented lineup or roster. And then if you look at the records right here as we hop into the game, we're actually very, very similar, about a game to a game and a half within reach of one another. And considering that we're both in the same division, there's obviously a big game to try to make sure that we can kind of create some separation in this divisional race, considering also this is the last game before the All-Star break. So after this game, we have the All-Star break and all that good stuff going on. Either way, we're going to start the game here with Trey Turner getting on base from a misfire from the third baseman, forcing an error, and that will get us on base for the first time this game on the first at-bat. Sadly, D. Gordon will not follow that up with a hit of his own, and he will fly out there to right field. So now up, we have Chris Bryant trying to get a big hit here, and right here, he's going to knock one in between shortstop and third base, having this ball roll out to left field. So we now have runners on first and second with only one out. Putting up the big bat right here, Giancarlo Stanton, but sadly, he's going to continue his struggles on this season, striking out on that low outside changeup that's going to tinkle its way out of the strike zone just a little bit. And then Jock Peterson here is going to put actually a very nice swing on this ball. Just got under it a bit too much, and the right fielder is obviously going to easily camp underneath that one, getting us their third out of the inning. And that will result in us obviously not getting any runs that inning. So going back here now on the defensive end of things, Julio Urias will start off strong, striking out the first batter of the game. The good news is the first two batters of the game are both left-handed hitters, giving us a little bit of a benefit in terms of that pitching batting matchup that we got going on here. So the second out ends up being a little bit sketchy. Left fielder almost drops that one. But there we go. We got two outs on the inning, and then the third out will not come so easily, though. You see right here, third batter of the game is going to strike one down the left field line, giving him a sliding double, or actually, a sliding double here with two outs in the inning. So now with Yoenis Cespedes up, we don't want them to allow them to score any runs, and luckily they will not, as Cespedes obviously right here will fly out to our center fielder. So there we go. We're moving on now. Quite a few innings. You see right here, there wasn't a whole lot of offense, and I don't really feel the need to show you guys a whole lot of innings where there's not a whole lot of offensive progression, because I feel like it's kind of pointless if I'm just showing you guys innings where nobody scores, and I don't know, I feel like it doesn't give you guys a whole lot of entertainment. So moving on here, you see they're not going to get a hit with the first out, or the first batter of the game of the inning, as they're going to line out to first base. Second batter, they'll bloops one over shortstop. That'll be a single, and then this is where their whole runs for this inning actually come into play, as right here they will hit a two-run shot over the right field wall. I will now go down 2-0, but Julio Urias will come back fierce, as he's going to strike out the next batter on that inside slider, and then the next batter after that will actually get a hit. You'll actually get a hit right there in between third base and shortstop. Third baseman tried to make a diving grab, but was not able to do anything there. But luckily that runner, or that hitter technically, will not come around to do anything productive, as we're actually going to throw him out a second right there. So now we are going to move on to an inning of our own. Right here, you see, we're actually going to get a pretty big hit here out of Mike Zunino, of all people. Zunino has not really made much of an impact on this team's roster. Or on any of our really games. He really has not made much of an impact. And today ends up being one of those games where he really does. You'll kind of start to get that impression as the game goes on. You'll see a lot of clips of him coming up big. Obviously, he threw out that base run right there, and he comes back to get a home run in the very next clip. Next up, though, you see we have Ben Revere up to bat, and right here, he's going to get a nice little blooper single out there into shallow left field, getting him obviously a nice little stand-up single. But sadly, that will be the only that'll be the end of the offense for the inning. As next up, Trey Turner will come to bat, flying out here to right field. So obviously, D. Gordon's going to have to stay at first, or not D. Gordon, but Ben Revere will have to stay at first. The next up, D. Gordon will come up to bat, and D. Gordon will also be unsuccessful in getting a hit. With actually a very nice swing, just goes right back to the shortstop, and that will result in the third out of the inning. So moving on here, we're now into the top of the ninth inning. So things didn't really end up working out all that well for us. We're still just a 2-1 game, and now moving on to the top of the ninth with only with a 2-1 deficit. It looks like right now this may be the end of the game. Back-to-back flyouts. We're going to have to really get lucky here to try to get a 2-out rally to try to get us back in this game. But Mike Zunino is up to bat. and Mike Zunino is going to get his second home run of the day, the second solo shot of the day for him, and that is going to give us a chance to come back here and hopefully put it away in extra innings. An absolutely phenomenal at-bat. I mean, that's all you can ask for. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. I thought this game was over, but Zunino here is going to put some pop into this one and bring our team back to life. It is now a 2-2 game in the 9th inning. Sadly, though, that will be all the offense for us in this inning, but I mean, I take it. I'll take that 1 run. So now we're moving on here to the top of, I believe, the 11th or 12th. And now we have Giancarlo Stanton, who's also going to hit a bomb. Now, I got really excited when Stanton hit this home run because Stanton's been struggling a lot for me, and having him just hit this towering shot made me feel a lot better just about having him on the team, especially because of how far that ball went. It kind of reminded me of a Giancarlo Stanton-esque type of shot, you know what I mean? There's not a whole lot of players that can hit a baseball like Stanton can. In fact, he's probably the most powerful player in the league. So seeing a home run like that was really, really entertaining for me. And it definitely brought me back to life a little bit, because Stanton was one of those guys if you guys remember, I was actually considering trading him. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but we only have about 2 weeks left until the trade deadline, so me kind of forcing a trade on him is actually relatively unlikely at this point. But moving on here, you see we're still going to try to get a couple more runs up on the board. Right here, Jock Pearson's going to hit a nice little ball down the first base line, but the first baseman will make a phenomenal play stopping that ball from getting into the outfield, and then we'll be able to run it down. But don't worry, Chris Carter is here to save the day, get us some more runs on the board. I see he's going to destroy a home run to straightaway center field. So now at this point we are up, I believe, 4-2, but that is not it for us this inning. You see Chris Carter's rounding the bases, but we had a lot of momentum going in to this inning, and right here we're going to try to keep it going. I believe this is Joe Mauer who's up to bat, and he's going to drill one into the left center field gap. Right here we're going to try to beat it out for a double, and obviously the ball is still rolling, so we're going to beat that out with actual ease. So now we have a runner on second, but guess who's coming up to bat? None other than Mike Zunino, who's going to hit his third towering shot of the day. That will be his 4th RBI of the day, his 3rd home run of the day. Mike Zunino, have yourself a game. Have yourself a player of the game. I don't think there's anybody else that we can even debate for player of the game in this one. And an absolutely phenomenal performance from Zunino, giving us a chance not only to come back in this game, but now giving us even more padding to the lead that we have established. Sadly, though, Revere won't be able to get a hit in the next at-bat, getting us our 2nd out of the inning. And then up to bat here, I believe, is Trey Turner. And I believe he is also unsuccessful. Yes, he'll fly out to right field. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning. But don't worry, with a 4-run lead going into the bottom of, well, now it's the bottom of the 11th or so, I feel very confident in our chances. First off, we're going to force a little short or ground ball to shortstop, and a nice easy throw on to first base for the 1st out of the inning. 2nd batter of the inning, though, we'll get a nice little shot here into right center field, giving them, I believe, a stand-up double. We're going to try to fire one into second, but no, he's going to make it to second with ease. But regardless of any of that, even if they get a few runs, the thing is, with a 4-run lead, you have a lot of comfortability pitching, and I was showing it right here. I'm going to strike out the next batter with a low slider, and then the next batter after that, with a 3-2 count, he's going to strike out swinging, and I believe that's a drop 3rd strike rule, and we're going to throw it on over to first. And we're going to walk out of here with a 6-2 victory. I will be honest, I did not think we were going to win this game for a long period of time there, especially as the game was coming down to the wire. I was really surprised by our team's ability to come back. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, please click that like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of this series and what I could do to make it more interesting in the comment section below. And lastly, subscribe if you have not already to stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for all the support you've been showing on this series and some other series going on my channel. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.